So now let's work on the styling of our form. So let's open the style.css. And we'll apply styling for our form. So let's have a maximum width equal to 400 pixels and a padding of 10 pixels by 40 pixels, 10 pixels by 20 pixels. This means 10 pixels on the top, 40 on the right, 10 at the bottom, and 20 on the left. So again, ang pagbasa dito is clockwise, top, right, bottom, and left. Next property is background color of hash F4, F7, F8. And then a margin of 10 pixels auto, meaning 10 pixels sa top and bottom, auto for the left and right para mag-center yung form natin. Next is the border radius para may curve konti yung 4 sides natin. Let's add 10 pixels and a margin top of 10%. So as you can see sa preview, medyo bumaba yung form natin. Then a margin bottom of 20%. Now let's work on the H1 tag. So it's under the subscribe section ID. So let's just add the hash subscribe section and space H1. So we'll have a text align of center. So naka-center na yung text natin. And then a margin bottom of 5%. So let's go back to our subscribe.html and let's apply styling for all these input elements. So let's type input bracket and the type equal to first the text, comma. So let's copy this, paste it here. Don't forget to add comma at the end and then paste it twice and then text area open and close curly brace. Then just change the type of the second input into email and number for the third. So it applies to these 3 input elements and for the text area. So properties are a background of RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.1. So RGBA means red, green, and blue. And 255 is the maximum value. So 255 for this 3 colors and alpha or the opacity is 0.1. So that's for the background color. So parang transparent yung dating niya. I have border of none. And a border radius of 4 pixels. Next is a font size of 15 pixels, and then a margin of 0, and then an outline of 0 as well, with a width of 100%. So as you can see, nag-extend siya sa whole width ng form. Kung wala yun, ganito yung itsura niya. So we need this width 100% para, again, mag-extend siya dun sa end ng form natin. Now we'll have a padding of 10 pixels for all the 4 sides, and a background color of #E8EEEF. Medyo grayish na color. And a color property of #8A97A0. And a back shadow of 0.1 pixel, 0, and RGBA of 000 with transparency or alpha value of 0.04. Then an inset. So pag sinabing box shadow, it attaches one or more shadows to an element. So this inset changes the shadow from an outer shadow to an inner shadow. Next, we'll have a margin bottom of 25 pixels. So when we save and preview, ito na yung itsura ng form natin. Medyo presentable na siya. You can change the colors here if you want. So next is, let's just copy this here and paste it below. Then let's just add a pseudo for the focus. I'll copy this and paste it in here. Also here, and lastly here. Let's change the background color of these elements when there's a focus. So equal to #D2, D9, DD. So when we save and refresh, when we click or focus on that specific element, babago yung color niya. Next, let's add another CSS rule. Now let's work on our radio buttons. But before that, let's add a class for our label here for the female, and gender radio class, and same with the label here for our male. Let's do the same for all the labels here in our checkboxes, but the class will be equal to tutorials. Copy it and paste it in every label we have for this div. So, since class ito, pwede siyang i-apply sa maraming tags or elements. Kasi 'di ba again yung ID is unique. Pag class, pwede siyang paulit-ulit. So since pare-parehas lang naman sila ng design, class yung gagamitin natin para isahang styling na lang. Also take note dito sa style.css natin, since class yung ginamit, we will use period. So dot gender radio, comma, dot tutorials. So all the properties here on the CSS rule will apply to both classes that has a name of gender radio and tutorials. So which specifically are the radio and checkboxes. So sa property, font size is 15 pixels, margin is 0, padding is 10 pixels, and a width of 100%. And then a color of hash 8A97A0, and then a margin bottom of 30 pixels. So next is let's add a break after the female label para bumaba yung male na radio button, and let's do the same for our label here sa checkbox div. Just add the BR or break tag every after the closing label tag. As you can see, ito na yung styling natin. Now let's add styling for our IDs. So hash radio buttons, comma, and hash checkboxes. Open and close curly brace. Then a padding of 2%, 0, 5%, and 15%. So that's for the top, right, bottom, and left padding. 2 for the top, 0 for the right, 5 for the bottom, and 15 for the left. So ito na yung itsura ng form natin. Next is we'll apply styling for our button. You type input bracket type of submit, open and close curly brace, and then a position of relative, display block, and then a padding of 19 pixels by 39 pixels. So dapat magkatabi tong number NPX, 18 pixels and 39 pixels. So ito na yung itsura niya. Now let's add another one, color of hash FFF or white. And then a margin of 0 auto para mag-center yung button natin sa form. Next is a background color of Gainsborough and a font size of 18 pixels. With the text align of center and a width of 100%. So this is how our button looks like. Then let's add a border of 1 pixel solid in the color of hash 2F80ED with a border width of 1 pixel, 1 pixel, and 3 pixels with a margin bottom of 10 pixels. So to save and preview, ito na yung itsura ng button natin. So let's copy this code and let's add a sudo for this input element. And let's add a hover sudo class for this input element with the background color of light gray. So when we save and preview, pag na-hover tong button, so nagbabago yung kulay niya. So I think we're done. This is our subscribe form. Simple lang, but you learned how to add checkboxes, radio buttons, text box, text area, and a button. So save your work. If you have questions and clarifications, please comment it down below. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.